Oh, honey, I wasn't the help. I was a friend.
You weren't an employee of the Southern Towerfall government then?
Oh, no, I am from Waterdeep.
Well, you were.
Well, yes, I was. Who? Where is everybody else?
Where exactly are we?
Emrine's dead. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dead?
Yeah, why do you think I got a new girl?
Because you what?
Sorry, it's kind of been a day.
Yeah, you don't look so hot. Have you been drinking again, Wilder?
Yeah, but that's not it. It's kind of been a day, and I kind of have some things to do.
Keith?
Yeah.
We love Keith.
Oh, the one in the stone.
He was horrific.
Yes, gives fantastic massages.
I do believe that we were still going to go find a place to hide out in Northern Towerfall, as they would be less likely to expect us to be there. What are we to be waiting for?
Wilder's going to just pop out behind a tree or a bush or someone's cloak.
Walk as we wait.
Playing games with strangers, you know there's no danger. So come on in, we're all friends. Playing games with strangers. Play, I'm 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 playing games with strangers.
All right. Well, you guys are walking. Felix, it is the next day. What do you do?
So before he fell asleep, Wilder did read Callum's letter, so he had a good cry, and slept pretty well, I would say. At this point, waking up, I guess he's just gonna kind of sit around and chit chat with some of the guys and just kind of keep confirming these Felix memories he has, and I guess try and unfog that part of his memory.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the information he's gathering, not so much in any way to help Stumblefoot, but more just to help himself.
You start to kind of talk to Calvin about these partial memories that you have. They're foggy, but they're there, and he starts kind of chatting you through them a little bit, and you start to kind of figure out about yourself that Felix is a pretty stand-up guy, a little reserved, kind of a jack of all trades for the guild. He was a serviceable assassin, very good thief, could throw a little bit of magic if he needed to, and fairly reliable to get the job done pretty much at any cost.
A decent crochet or two.
You kind of broach the topic of Alel at all with them?
Yeah, I was actually just getting ready to say that.
She's a very rambunctious child. She has, last time that Calvin had seen her, she had golden blonde hair that would go to her mid back, and she had bright blue eyes. She looked a lot like her mother did.
That is naturally going to lead into asking, who was her mother? Is she still around?
You find out her mother had, about a year prior to your dispatch, she had passed away due to a degenerative condition. It's fairly uncommon in this world, but if I was to put it in specific terms that you could relate to, it'd be kind of like MS.
Okay. Learning that, being that is a very heavy subject, I'm going to excuse myself from the table we're sitting at, just walk outside. Wilder's got a lot to digest. So he's not really doing anything in particular, maybe just kind of standing around thinking about everything that he's learned in the last 24 hours. Go for a walk into Nortow.
Okay, where are you heading into Nortow?
You know what? He's going to go back to Lenny's.
You go back. Are you doing anything specific in Lenny's, or are you just pulling up a booth and...
Yep, pulling up a seat, going to decompress and think.
Okay, so Emrine, Orbog, Aileen, Pooh, and Stumblefoot make their way. You are at the You are in the cathedral.
Oh boy. I never thought we'd make it.
You are in the main chamber, and there is a big, mostly washed but still visible blood stain in the middle of the floor.
Oh, well.
Did you want to try and, do the connecting to spirit world thing? Or should we come back when you're feeling more yourself, Your Majesty?
I mean, we can do whatever. I feel like I've talked too much today.
Perhaps we should get somewhere safe first. If you'll all continue to follow me.
I feel like I've talked too much today. That felt uncharacteristically self-aware. That's what I was saying. It felt uncharacteristically self-aware.
I think Orbog's very self-aware, if we're being honest.
I didn't want to say a whole lot in this room. I needed to pay respect for the dead.
She's not dead anymore.
But she did die.
That is true. I do appreciate that.
That's very thoughtful.
It is, yes. If I'm being honest, it feels quite odd to be in this room. So I'm going to keep walking.
Yeah, just move along.
Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you stand where that puddle is, and we can have somebody draw your picture?
Nope.
No, thank you.
Orbog. Yep. Let's move on. Yep.
There's the Orbog I know and love.
I'm so confused.
This is where I died.
So
it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I am tracking that.
That blood is mine. And it was once in my body, and now it is not.
I didn't...
But there's new blood, which happened by magic, in a way that I'm not sure I'm okay with. But...
I did not register that was blood.
And I will continue to walk.
Me too.
Yes. Are there, guards in between?
Normally there would have been, but like I said, Southern Towerfall is pretty much being patrolled by guards now, so...
I see.
Passage between the kingdoms has become unregulated.
We're oppressing them in their own home, so they don't come into ours. I see. I'm going to continue into Northern Towerfall.
So this is Northern Towerfall, huh, Emrine?
Yes.
You grew up here?
I did. Yes.
It's a nice place, I guess.
You get to a house, and Emrine knocks on the door, and someone answers the door who is younger than Emrine, but is of the same make in that it is another Fontar.
Same make and model, newer year. Hello, Rhoda. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine. Kind of a crew you got with you.
Hello.
Would we perhaps be able to come inside for a brief moment, and I can explain?
Oh, I see you brought your boyfriend.
Oh. Yes. Kind of.
You know, Mom said he's not allowed in the house anymore, right?
I did forget about that. I think I'll talk to her about it, and we'll figure it out. I think she might be okay with this, or she might be even less okay with this. I'm not quite sure where she'll fall on this scale.
Well, Mom's not home right now, so if she comes home and he's here, you're taking the fall, because
I can do that.
Okay. And she just kind of steps away from the door and walks back into the house, kind of like, enter if you're gonna.
Everyone, come on
Stumblefoot glances at Bastide and chuckles under his breath as he walks through the door.
Yeah, so come here, apple cart, and
I put my hand around Orbog's
Bestie's chest. Is anyone else home, or is it just Rhoda?
From what you can tell on the front porch, it's just Rhoda.
I will usher everyone into a much too small house for all of these bodies, but somehow we make it work. Find a seat wherever you like. Rhoda, this is Stumblefoot and Aileen and Pooh and Bestie. As you know, everyone, this is Rhoda, my sister.
Oh, it's a pleasure to
It's
meet you.
lovely to meet you, dear.
You look like a hot piece of venison, too.
No.
Oh, maybe not laid on quite so thick.
Hey, Stumblefoot. You wouldn't happen to have like a silent spell or something like that?
Well, I do, but it's gonna make everything in this room really quiet. It's sort of a large area. It's not, tightly.
Not necessarily a bad thing at the moment. How are things here?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yes.
I forgot that you deigned to talk to us Northerners. They're fine. Everyone's out working our minimal wage job for our minimal wage lives.
I'm sure everyone is out working very hard.
Well, Grandpa's out doing his 12-ounce curls. Got to get that cardio in.
So I'm sure Father is right there beside him. No need to go into that, though. Anyway,
You brought it up.
I don't think I did. I think you brought that up, actually.
What a lovely family this is.
See, now I came here hoping that things would be good. But perhaps I should have gone to see Ethan instead.
Who's Nathan?
Ethan is my brother.
Oh,
One of my brothers.
does he not live here?
No. One of the few. Most of them stayed.
How many brothers and sisters do you have? I don't know very much about you, Emrine.
I have 6.
Wow.
Hey, Emrine, this guy's big, hairy, and dumb. Why don't you date him, too?
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, that was a wee uncalled for, I think.
No, it's all right. I am big and I am hairy, and I am not the smartest.
I don't think you're dumb at all.
Well, thank you, Emrine.
And I think Rhoda should have some manners.
Whatever. I'm going in my room. She trots off.
A lovely meeting you, Rhoda. Enjoy your room, I guess.
So, generally speaking, the plan is to lay low here. You can ignore her. She's kind of in that phase of life.
Oh, yes.
Teenage years, Nickus is much nicer, though, so when he's home, maybe he will enjoy your presence. And he kind of likes Bestie, so if you just keep it up.
I didn't bring any presents.
She means the joy of your company, darling.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would give you the tour, but this is the front room, and Rhoda is in the bedroom.
Right.
That's the tour.
Wow. It's nice, quaint, homey.
Thank you. It's not.
Did you say a bedroom or the bedroom?
I said the bedroom.
Got it.
Is this what all the houses here are like?
Not all of them. Quite a few of them. Mostly the ones around here. Some of the ones closer to the castle, of course, are quite nice. And quite expensive.
I'm sure.
Or, you have to, kill someone to get one. But that's,
Let's not do that.
Well, it could be arranged.
Are the things on this side of the tower not as good as they are on the other side of the tower?
I suppose that's a matter of perspective and what you think is good and worthwhile. And I wouldn't go so far as to say things here are not as good as the other side, just that they are much different.
Much different. Are the people here happy?
I suppose it depends on the person you ask and their view of happiness. I imagine that right now the king is quite happy.
Okay.
I don't know that extends to everyone else.
Do people like living here?
I didn't.
Right. Well, that's
And
what I
that
was
would be
getting
why you moved.
Kind of.
at. Is there anything we can do to help? Not that we already don't have a lot on our plates, but
Is it going to be an imposition to have this many house guests for your ma and pa?
Well, I would say yes, but that would assume that they are suitable hosts, of which they are typically not. But they rarely come home anyway, so it's fine.
Darling, how many of your siblings are going to be in the house tonight?
Well, I suppose it depends on what they're doing. I don't come back as often as I would like, but Rhoda is here, which I assume means Nikus will be here later, and the youngest, Ida, will probably be here as well. Whether or not Damon comes here, or Cadia, I'm not sure.
Well, in that case, why don't we get started on dinner? That way, if your mom and dad come home, we have a meal prepared for them.
Yes, that would be quite nice. I cannot promise there will be anything in this house to eat.
Maybe, is there a market nearby that we could go to?
There's a market that we can go to. I assume that most of their money is used for other things.
Well, let's go get some groceries.
Yes, grocery sounds good. Perhaps we shouldn't all go?
Well, I recently liquidated a magic item.
How did you do that?
Well, I went to Sage's portal and I sold it to them, and they, in exchange, gave me currency. So,
And they turned it into liquid.
no, liquidation
how
is
does that work? Did they
a
melt
term
it?
for getting rid of something you don't need and turning it into money.
That makes no sense.
Yes, I haven't done much of that in my life.
Actually, it does.
It's sort of the thing that Bastille did with the sword that he had, that technically wasn't his sword.
He got quite the hole for it. I mean, when I saw it, he was talking about it with his
Anyway,
girlfriend.
how much do you think you'll need? I can cover the food.
Pardon? What was that?
What? Oh, sorry, I was muttering to myself. Do you really want to know what I said? I didn't mean to say anything. I was Emrine.
But if you had said something about something.
Emrine, do you want me to tell you what I said, or would you prefer I didn't?
You know, if I'm being completely honest, I heard you the first time, but saying it again might help it sink in.
Well, so since your friend,
Who wants to be a homewrecker?
no, since Bastille believes that you died, he decided that it was time for him to move on and get another girlfriend who also looks somewhat like you, and incidentally, he also called him, but
Is he dating my sister?
he couldn't quite remember her name, so I can't confirm or deny.
Did she look very much like me?
Very much like
Stumblefoot,
you.
why don't you get what you think will be enough to feed everybody, and we'll leave these two to conversate.
I'll do that. So, Emrine, you plus 6 siblings.
Yes, but Ethan doesn't live here.
So 5 siblings.
Yes.
All of us.
Yes.
And a
So that's
potential
another
mom,
5.
dad, and a grandpa.
No, Grandpa doesn't live here either.
And potentially your parents, but you're not sure. So enough for 12?
Yes. Why
That
don't you
sounds
get
accurate.
eggs and some flour and some bacon, and I'll make breakfast.
Eggs and flour and bacon?
Yes, maybe a little bit of milk.
-1. Nikus doesn't live here anymore.
What? Where is Nikus? Why isn't he here?
He decided he wanted to join up for the Nortau Guard because I guess that would give us some more, because he's underage, what he would pay would come to mom and dad instead.
Now, did he want to join the guard? Or was this...
I don't know.
Well, what? You mean you didn't talk to him before he did it?
No.
I'm gonna go.
Yes, that's probably wise. I'm going to stay here and determine what utensils we have.
I'm just going to close my big mouth and not say any more about Bestie and his girlfriend. But you can't blame him. You can't blame him. He thought you were dead, so...
He thought I was dead. I understand. Yes. Much, yes, indeed. Of course. I can blame my sister for not knowing where her twin brother is and why he joined the guard of Northern Towerfall.
Oh, I know where he is. He lives in the barracks.
That makes sense.
Remarkably unhelpful, Rhoda.
Well, maybe if you showed up more than once a year.
I've been a little busy making money for all of you.
And protecting the royal family.
Yeah, and look how well that turned out.
Rhoda,
No.
if I come in there, you won't be happy.
All right. So we're going to follow Stumblefoot now.
I mean, it's going to be a pretty unexciting trip. I'm going to go find a market and buy a bunch of food. And I assume I'm actually going to buy a wheelbarrow, find a place to buy a wheelbarrow, because it dawns on me about halfway through the trip to the market that I only have 2 hands and no bags.
All right. You pay 5 silver for a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
And goes to walk around the block like 6 times. I'm going to cool off.
And
I love siblings. They're fun.
I'll buy a bunch of food stuff. I mean,
what kind of food stuff are you going to buy?
I mean, I'll find whatever I can find, honestly. Some kind of protein for dinner, some veggies. If there's some, I can find some bread, I'll bring home some bread. And then it was requested I bring back eggs and flour and bacon for the morning. So we'll do that. Maybe some milk as well, if we can find some of that.
Wilder, how long are you going to spend at Lenny's?
Let's say maybe about an hour.
And what do you do after that?
Just kind of aimlessly walking.
Wilder, you see Stumblefoot pushing a wheelbarrow full of food
From a distance.
in Nortow.
Definitely gonna head that way.
Hey, fancy meeting you here.
Right, small world. Burying a body or something?
No. We found a place to lay low, and there's a few extra folks, so I was making sure there was enough to eat. I'm out of spell slots to communicate with you, so I was going to reach out in the morning and let you know where we were, but don't have to do that now.
Glad this happened. Who do you mean we?
Well, turns out they let Aileen go, so we've got Aileen. Pooh mysteriously returned from wherever place he was at, so I found Pooh, and Emrine, and of course, the other person who's a part of our group.
The other person?
Right, yeah, tattoos on his arms.
The short one.
Yeah, aye. Well, I mean, the short one describes about 3 of us, so...
Well, the other short one.
Okay, acceptable.
Right. He's with you.
Yes.
At Emrine's house?
Yes, we are staying at, I think it's Emrine's folks' house.
Oh. Okay. Good to know.
So, I mean, if you want to come, I just ran to the market to get some things because the cupboards were a wee bare, and you know how these folks eat, like poo.
Right. Yeah. There is a nice little diner just down the road that way. Lenny's. If you decide you don't want something home cooked.
Oh, good to know.
Good little greasy spoon.
I'll keep it in mind.
I mean, if it's okay with you, I would like to go and see everyone else.
Here's the thing. So, is it going to be Wilder that's coming with me, or is it going to be Felix that's coming with me?
I mean, kind of a package deal. I
Okay.
think, for now.
All right. Well, as long as we have Wilder with us, that's great. But if Felix starts making trouble, that could be a problem.
You're right. Okay. Well, I guess maybe I'll just, I'll go back to the guild hall.
I'm not saying you can't come. We'd love to have you. You're one of us.
I don't want to be an inconvenience.
It's not that you're an inconvenience. It's just that you really spooked me when you set off the alarm at the castle.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I did not plan to do that.
And I believe you, which is why I'm saying, if Wilder's coming, great, but I don't know what this Felix fella's going to do.
Well, apparently he's, everybody at the guild hall likes him. He's reliable. Pretty trusted guy. So, I don't know. He kind of pops up at random moments. I don't quite have like a control of him or anything like that.
Sure. Well, it's up to you. If you want to come with, you can follow me over. Otherwise, I'll reach out in the morning with plans so that we can stay on the same page.
Okay. Everybody's okay though?
Aye, everyone's all right.
Maybe we could find a...
Are you all right, lad?
I keep finding out more stuff, and I'm not sure if I want to know more.
Well,
we can talk about it later.
If you're with us, you're among friends.
I understand, but you're busy, and I haven't got this Felix thing figured out yet. So, I just miss everybody else.
Well, everybody else misses you too.
Even Grumpy Pants?
Well, he'll never admit to it, but I am sure he does.
Well, alright. I won't be an inconvenience, but maybe we could find a remote location somewhere tomorrow or something like that.
We'll come up with a plan and I'll let you know. We haven't figured out what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So the plan as I know it now is get to Nortow, lay low.
That's a good idea, and I don't want to endanger that. So just tell everyone I miss them and I'm doing as well as I can.
Will do. I'm gonna pull an apple out of the wheelbarrow and toss it to him.
I'm gonna catch it. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
You too, Wilder. We're here for you if you need anything.
All right.
Okay.
Just gotta figure this out.
Stumblefoot, you head back to the Fawn House.
Here I go.
And Wilder, where are you heading off to?
Does Felix have other contacts in Northern Towerfall?
I mean, you have informants all over the city, but I mean, they're shared contacts with the rest of the Thieves Guild.
Okay. So Wilder's gonna find a quiet spot, and he's gonna attempt to talk to Felix the same way that he talked to Lolth.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of muttering to himself. Can we talk to each other? Is that a thing?
No response.
I think that's kind of where Wilder would be at this point, is trying to figure out if there's a way to communicate.
I'll let you brew on it. Stumblefoot, you get back to the house.
I will start bringing it inside like you do when you go grocery shopping.
Try to get it in all in one trip.
All at once.
Yeah.
Nope, not all in one trip.
Oh, come on. That's the only way to bring in groceries.
Yeah,
That's how I do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm guessing they don't have handled plastic bags here in Nortown. That's probably not a thing.
No.
So
They have the most inconvenient bags of paper bags that don't have handles on them.
or even worse, paper bags that do have handles on them, but as soon as you pick them up, the handles rip off.
They just give it to you already ripped.
No, the handles rip off one at a time, so it's to make sure the butt swings out one direction and dumps out before the other one breaks.
Right. So, no, I mean, I'll grab a couple of bags of groceries and head on inside and
All right.
ask anybody within earshot for some help as I'm hauling things in.
Okay. Well, as you walk up to the house, you notice that there is a elderly male Fontar who is passed out on the lawn, and he had with a flask firmly in hand.
Okay. On my way in, I'm going to say, Emrine, I think your grandfather's out front.
I'm still circling the block, so at some point I'll come back and see him.
All right. I will point out to Pooh that I did get him some honey.
Oh, you are a kind individual, Stumblefoot.
Oh, by the way, you also spent about 50 gold on the groceries.
Jeez!
You went to a farmer's market, bro.
That's a bargain. This is natural honey right here. This is local clover
That's
honey.
a lot of gold.
50 gold on groceries? Holy bajolies.
Aileen made that singing last night.
Some
It's
price
inflation.
gouging going on here in Northern Towerfall.
We'll call it inflation.
I guess maybe I picked up some beluga caviar while I was out.
Some Wagyu beef.
Yeah, some Wagyu beef. Yeah. Tonight we eat like kings.
You actually, what you had picked up, you didn't know what it was, but it sounded interesting. It was called Skirminsley caviar.
Oh, this looks rather tasty. Got lots of groceries here. I'm helping carrying them in. Excuse me, Papa Fontar.
Thanks for your help, Pooh. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
no problem. Aileen, I think we've got quite a lot to work with.
Indeed, we do. Okay. Now, Pooh, I'm going to need you to... Do you know how to crack an egg?
Do I know how to crack an egg?
Let me rephrase
Do
that.
I know how
Let
to
me
crack
wait.
an egg?
Let me rephrase that. Do you know how to crack an egg with where the insides go into the bowl, but the shell does not?
Yeah, you just watch this.
I take an egg and
I'm an expert egg cracker.
I crack that egg on the bowl. I'll roll something for that if you want me to.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Okay. Oh, that's a 19 plus my let's see, dex sleight of hand. Oh, plus 4. Yeah, so that's like a 23.
Aileen, so what you see is you take Pooh take this egg in his hand, and he just cracks it on the bowl between his two fingers and uses his thumb as a pivot and opens the egg up.
Nice.
And it just drops out. And then he flips the egg around in the air and catches the shell in his hand and just kind of tosses it into the garbage can.
I am impressed, sir. I'm going to need you to take about 4 of these, mix them up, and I'm going to measure everything else out.
Roger that.
All right. Emrine, what are you doing?
Letting off steam.
All right. Well, you come back around the block again. You see that the front door is open. Stumblefoot and Pooh are... Stumblefoot is hauling in groceries, and you see your grandfather passed out on the lawn.
I see. I will go attempt to position him off of the ground on a chair on the patio.
As you grab him to move him, I'd like you to make a stealth check as to whether or not you wake him up.
Oh, I'm not trying to not wake him up.
Oh. Then when
I'm
you
not
grab...
being gentle.
Okay. Then I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
Oh, no. Well, that was a 2, and then I get a -3.
Oh, nice. All right. So what happens is you reach down and you grab your grandfather to get him up on a chair. He wakes up and comes up swinging and punches you right in the side of the face and goes, "Stay away from my flask!"
I smack him just right across the face.
What? Oh, would you like a drink?
No. I would like you to get off the lawn, so we have company.
I didn't invite anybody.
Yes, because this is not your home. Shall I help you up, or will you get up by yourself?
He kind of stands up and kind of does a casual barf.
I back
And
up.
Just kind of... and he just turns and walks towards the chair.
I don't think I've ever heard vomiting described as casual.
Me neither.
A casual barf, you know.
It's not something you've seen very often, if at all. It just kind of stands up and just like, bleh, like
I
it
would
was.
submit that I've seen it many times.
Well, it's just like it's a common fact of life for this individual.
Does Stumblefoot catch any of this while he's hauling in groceries?
Oh, I'm sure that maybe you should take mental note.
I will sigh. Just try and decide if I need another lap around the block.
Is Emrine's grandfather a Fontar as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long line of Fontars, you know. I will decide not to take a walk around the block and go inside.
All right, you go inside. Pooh and Aileen are baking, and Stumblefoot's bringing in the last bag of groceries.
Oh, look how great I am at cracking these eggs, Em.
Okay, you can stop, dear, because we now have scrambled eggs as well as enough eggs for the pancakes.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I got carried away.
I understand. We do want to save some for breakfast, though, so we can make something a little different.
Oh, like French toast?
We could do French toast.
Waffles?
Well, we need a waffle iron for that. That's why I opted for pancakes.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Perfectly. Emrine, do you prefer waffles or pancakes?
I don't know that I've ever had a waffle.
Never had a waffle. Aileen, do you hear this?
I do,
Never
and we
had
must
a
fix
waffle.
it, but I need a waffle iron for us to fix it.
Stumblefoot, bring us a waffle iron.
You know,
A waffle iron.
You don't have
What?
to.
What are you talking about?
don't worry about it, Stumblefoot. We'll figure it out another day.
No. Stumblefoot, you've never had waffles?
Oh, what's a waffle?
What's a
Stumblefoot.
waffle?
Well, I do think His Majesty does it quite a bit.
While all this commotion is going on, I'm going to look for a moment to quietly approach Emrine's grandfather.
He is very much unconscious again.
Okay, I am going to cast Lesser Restoration on him, which will remove the poison condition.
Why would you do that to this guy?
Can I just casually try to perceive what's happening?
Are you being stealthy about how you're doing this?
I want to be very circumspect about this. I do not want Emrine to see what I'm doing.
Please roll a stealth roll. Emrine, please make a perception.
I did not roll well.
Hey, I bet you rolled better than I did.
That's only a 15.
Actually, Emrine, you weren't specifically like following him, right?
But we left the door open and I'm sitting basically in the
Okay,
entrance
what's
of the door.
we'll use your passive perception then instead of having you roll.
12.
And what'd you
I'm
roll?
not perceptive.
15.
All right, yeah, you don't see this. Yeah, so you cast Lesser Restoration on him, and he starts to kind of come to, and he's like, "Oh God, my head." Oh,
I'm going to get down real close and whisper in his ear, and I'm going to say, I saw you hit your granddaughter. If you lay a hand on her again, I'll make sure you need a wheelchair too. That's a promise. And I'm going to boop him on the nose.
go ahead and roll an intimidation check, please.
That's a 19.
He gets a serious look on his face. He's like, yes, sir.
I'm glad we understand each other. And then I'm going to walk back inside.
Did you find a waffle iron, Stumblefoot?
I still don't know what that is. I don't understand why you need to iron your food.
Yeah, we have a clothes iron.
Oh,
Will that
could
work?
We will explain one day, but not today. Don't worry about it because the food is ready.
You know, this is kind of nice, Aileen. I'm not worried about saving the world right now. Just about
eating
waffles
breakfast.
and pancakes and food. Can Keith eat with us? I feel like he should join us.
If he had lips or teeth
He does.
or a mouth,
He's got.
Take him out. Take him out.
I've got big lips that I can eat with.
Rhoda, food.
I'm not coming out there when he's out there.
You watch it. Look, he's gone. Get out.
I'll put a plate together and bring it into her. I do not knock first.
She's just seated with her back in a corner and just with a book rested on her knees. She's sitting there reading by candlelight.
That's not good for the eyes.
I will set the plate down.
Thanks, sis. You know, a lot of people talk a lot of crap about you,
Do they?
but I think you're all right.
Well, thank you. You're okay yourself. Sometimes. I'll kiss her forehead and go back out to the kitchen.
Orbog, it looks really funny when you're trying to eat. I'm just gonna say.
Look at me.
Do you know what a waffle iron is?
I'm just gonna be. I'm also gonna just be keeping an eye out the front door in case any of my other family members come home, just to watch. I don't trust none of them.
Is it worse to drop the ruse now or keep up the ruse?
I believe we could tell Rhoda. She'll be fine with it. Frankly, I think she likes Southern Towerfall more than she lets on. But it could be questionable. If my parents come home, I'm not sure. I don't know how they'll take it. Or Nikus, now that apparently he is a member of the guard.
Understood.
Which is a thing that I should sort out. Yeah.
I bumped into Wilder while I was out and about.
Or did you invite him to dinner?
Weren't we
I
supposed
did.
to find him?
I invited him, and he felt it was best if we reconnected in the morning.
Oh.
He's still trying to
breakfast.
figure out who he is.
Aren't we
Aren't we
all?
Aren't we?
Him more than most right now.
Yes. Probably for the best, as we don't have many additional sleeping places.
Yes, you did mention that there was only one bedroom, so that's...
Yes.
Well,
Like one
if we
sleeping
need
place.
to, I can make my hut outside. That way we're not encroaching upon anybody else's sleep.
I suppose
Oh,
that is
a
true.
tiny hut.
But I don't know what you mean. You have a tent?
So to speak.
Magic.
It's a magical tent. It might be a wee bit conspicuous if suddenly there's a magic dome in your front yard.
We could, perhaps, go to Ethan's house. But perhaps not all at once. It might be overwhelming. But that could be an option if we need to disperse into more beds for people to be comfortable.
Oh, I can sleep on the floor or outside, or I'm a pretty easy at sleeping. I'm really good at sleeping.
Oh, good.
I
should
can
see
sleep on
me
the floor
sleep.
if necessary too.
Wonderful. Aileen?
Oh, absolutely. I will sleep anywhere. I'll sleep on this table.
Well, you don't need to do that. What time of day is it?
Yeah, it's in the evening now, sorry.
Okay. Well, if we're all going to regroup in the morning, perhaps we should all get rest, and then meet up with Wilder and figure out what to do about the many things that are not the way they should be.
That sounds like
Oh,
a
if
plan.
you only know the half of it.
I know much. Too much, maybe.
I know nothing.
Well, that's not true. You know quite a few things.
I know what a waffle iron is, so I've got that going for me.
You do indeed.
And I don't. Well, I'll get you all a blanket.
To share. Thank you.
Yes, I only have one extra, I think. But I'll see what I can find.
I'm fuzzy.
I think I
I will
have a
tuck them all
bedroll in. I think I've got a bedroll in my pack.
Oh, I think I do too. Don't worry about me, dear.
I don't think I can help it right now.
Worrying about me.
Yes, all of you. You have brought much chaos with you, and it worries me a great deal.
I can
Yeah.
I can understand that. But I promise I will not cause chaos until the morning.
I've been known to be a very unchaotic person. I have a calming spirit.
Oh, I mean, I do feel much better in your presence, so I suppose that's true, to some degree.
See, I've been working on it. Stumblefoot, why are you shaking your head like that?
Pooh,
Yes.
if I could pick a term to describe you, it's agent of chaos. That's- I,
Oh, surely
yeah,
not.
you are perhaps one of the most unpredictable folks I've ever met, which in fact makes you one of the most predictable folks I've ever met.
So I can't even prove that I'm not unpredictable, because if I did that, you would say that I'm...
You're so unpredictable that sometimes you're predictable to throw off the unpredictability.
So what am I going to do next?
I don't know.
Go to sleep.
I think that it is time.
I tuck you all in. Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
Emrine.
If you need anything, I'm right here, and Keith is right over there. Good night,
Why
Keith.
would
Keep
she?
that in mind.
Why would she want Keith, Boo?
Keith is very comforting. She said she needed comfort.
I will also tuck Keith in. But he doesn't get a blanket, so it's mostly just a little pat.
Do you make any kind of contact
Yes.
with the?
I do just pat it lightly.
As you pat it, you get this sensation of 4 arms giving you the most welcome hug
Oh,
of support.
I hug.
As
I hug the stone.
as if to say, I know you've been a lot, but I'm here for you.
I'd like to submit the rest of the party has been a lot. She hugs the stone and says, "Good night, Keith." Goes to bed.
The morning. Oh, good.
Wilder, I'm assuming you go to sleep at some point. I mean, I don't want to make a character choice for you here, but
Actually, Wilder is going to consume his crunchy potion.
oh,
Orbog would be proud.
okay.
You've been sitting on that for a long time.
Wanna fly.
Yeah. Okay. As you take this potion and you feel its effects start to kick in, you look down at your hands and you still only see 9 fingers, but you can see where the 10th one is supposed to be. It's sort of like the finger's there, but it's not. You know how some amputees experience phantom limb syndrome? It's like you can feel that finger there, but now you can see where it is. And if you think real hard about moving that finger around, you can see that ghost finger moving around. Make a con save for me, please.
That was a 6.
Where are you right now? Let me ask you that.
Can we say that Wilder's in a park somewhere in North Towerfall?
So with that 6, a flood of reality just hits you like a ton of bricks, and it's overwhelming for you. You fall prone to the ground and become mostly catatonic as everything starts to flash before you. You realize you couldn't talk to Felix in your head because you are Felix. And Felix didn't talk to Wilder because you also are Wilder. Wilder's memories are just rearranged constructions of that of Felix. You never were the different people. It was different perspectives on the same things. You initially came from Towerfall. You had a wife named Sarai and a daughter named LL. But your wife succumbed to a degenerative disease, and at this time you were supporting your family, working exclusively through the local Thieves Guild. You remember the Thieves Guild taking the contract on Prince Orbog and you being sent over to Waterdeep. And you took your daughter with you because you didn't feel like you could trust anybody within the guild to take good care of her. When you went over to Faerun and you met with your contact Fenric Coldwater in the Thieves Guild for Waterdeep, before you went to meet up with him, you had a contact that you trusted in Waterdeep that you had left LL with. Her name was Leona. So when you met up with Fenric Coldwater in Waterdeep, you remember being beset upon by a local crime family named Rourke Hardblood, who felt the best way to keep you from entering his territory was to make you forget who you are, and rearranged your memories with Fenric Coldwater into Dunward Dale, aka Wilder Filch. And everything after that, meeting Prince Orbog and everything else, you remember as Wilder. And you begin to see how the spells meshed the two memories together, and it all snaps into place. You are Felix Tinsdale, but you are also Wilder Filch. And then everything goes black as you lose consciousness in the overwhelming flood of memories that you have upon drinking this crunchy potion. Next morning, who wakes up first?
Keith.
Me and Keith are chatting over coffee.
Stumblefoot does wake up and try to find a quiet corner to spend some time praying.
All right. Emrine, it's said that you wake up first. What are you doing?
Checking to see if anyone else came home.
You check the bedroom. Your twin sister is...
My sister, who is a twin.
Your sister, who is a twin, is in there sleeping, as is your youngest sister. You look out on the front porch. Grandpa's half sacked out on the front porch, and your dad's in the lawn.
Oh, good. The gang's all here. Okay. I will go try and get the patriarchy up.
Do you need some help waking him up?
Oh no, I think I can handle it.
Because I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes, but killing 2 deers is much harder.
Well, I was thinking I could cast create food and water and create the food here on the wheelbarrow. But then with the water portion, I could just create over your grandfather and your dad.
It's as if we had the same thought, except I'm going to use this and she will take the dirty dishwasher with her. And I'll throw it on whoever's on the ground. My father. Right. I'll throw it on my father.
He wakes up.
Good morning.
Breakfast. Right. Okay. Gotta figure out where to get breakfast.
Perhaps down the street. Or someone else's house.
All right. Right. I'll be back. And he starts to kind of trot off.
Yes, it was so nice to see you too. I will reach over and smack my grandpa again.
He pops awake and goes, I didn't hit her!
Yes, that was very convincing. I'm almost convinced it was true. It's morning. Carry on with your day. I shoo him.
Okay.
It's like cats in the morning. Get out. Go away.
Stumblefoot will be standing there behind Emrine with his, after the grandfather's, her grandfather's reaction, is kind of covering his mouth and kind of doing the shoulder heave thing. You know, he's like...
Well, they'll be gone for a while. I will go start making breakfast.
You get in the kitchen and Aileen's already in there working on breakfast. Yeah. Or actually, it's in the same room, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
only have inside.
Yeah.
Well,
here's
good
the
morning, darling.
And the exterior.
I saw you made coffee. I do appreciate that.
Oh, yes. One cannot function without it.
Agreed. I knew I liked you.
Did it take until just now?
No. That's just an expression. I am affirming that I have always known that I liked you.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's much more... Okay. Yes. I have always liked you as well.
Well, how lovely.
And I've always liked you as well.
Oh, thank you, Pooh. I have also liked you.
Oh, well, thank you, Em. And,
maybe you could go like each other, like, somewhere else.
There's nowhere else.
I have also very much liked you as well, Your Majesty.
Considering I'm making you breakfast, Your Majesty, perhaps you could, shush.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, do we have a plan?
Well, I suppose we should meet up with Wilder at some point.
Right, I was going to send a message to Wilder with the plan.
Ah, yes. We should probably take into account which of our problems is the most pressing problem. Which is to say that King Vault has taken over. Towerfall might be in ruin at this point. Any day. I'm not sure. There's Waterdeep to take care of. There's... What were the other ones? There were many.
Hell and my parents.
Oh, yes. And Hell with her parents.
I think our most pressing problem is trying to stop Carrick and Zeus. But I think that's still maybe out of our reach.
What about Loth?
Yes. Well, I believe that would be potentially solved in the problem of the king. And is something I am particularly invested in.
Potentially also the problem of Aileen's parents, correct? Because doesn't she live in are they under where?
Well, so devils live in the Nine Hells and demons live in the Abyss. But we do happen to know that Carrick or Zeus, one of the two, managed to broker a peace between the devils and the demons. So that's why we were seeing Loth when we were in the Nine Hells.
Yes, but currently I believe she's in my friend.
That's also, from what we understand, to be true.
I had a thought.
That's
Yes?
a scary sentence.
Well, I mean, I can just keep it to myself if you like.
Oh no, do share.
What if she's not actually, like, in your friend, but she was just posing as your friend?
I was kind of thinking something similar, that maybe
Like the hat.
she was disguising herself as Ashlinn and it wasn't really Ashlinn.
Okay, well, that's alarming, considering the fact that I'm no longer in Southern Towerfall, which means that she's probably still in the castle, or dead, which is uncomfortable, and that means that I left her there alone.
You weren't for knowing at the time. And we don't know for sure. We don't know for certain. It's a theory.
You could have shared this thought sooner, I suppose.
Well, like you were saying, we had more pressing problems. The first one was bringing you back to life. And then the second
Which I am
one...
very grateful for.
You're welcome. The second one was making sure that Bastide was safe as well.
Yes, of course, which is indeed top priority, and I agree.
And he is safe, I guess. So we can cross that one off the list. Done that. I saw him. He was great. And so what if we... so what we're saying is we should try to go for perhaps Loth here.
Well, that seems like a big task. A good goal, and I agree. Not a fan of what's happening, but how do we do that?
Well, I'm not always the best one for making plans, as you all know, but I am one for doing something instead of just making plans.
If it is true that was just Loth in disguise, it could be beneficial, not just to me. If we do see if Ashlinn is still alive, as she was indeed quite skilled at her job and was investigating the drow for some time. So,
where would we begin looking?
Especially since we are in Northern Towerfall currently.
yes.
Hey,
Yes, we are.
Question. Could we message her somehow?
Oh yes, could we do that?
Well, I don't think I've ever met her, so I would either need something that was belonging to her, or I would need a very good description of her so I could try to reach out to her.
I can give quite a good description.
Do you have anything she gave you? Like,
She did give me my dice set.
well, there you go.
Would that work?
That should work.
Okay, I will take that out. And then stand far too close to Stumblefoot.
Okay. What do you want me to say? Got 25 words.
That's a lot of words. You could write a whole book.
It's really not.
Yeah. You should first ask, are you alive? Which I suppose will be answered if we get a response. Perhaps instead ask, are you okay? Where are you? You are with me, which is probably helpful for her to know. We are safe and want to meet up.
Okay. And I'm going to attempt to cast send a message to Ashlinn using the dice set that
I'll
Ashlinn,
provide description as well.
yeah, and the description. So, but focusing on the dice set as well to send the message to Ashlinn. The message will be, Ashlinn, message from Emrine. Are you well? Where are you? Are you safe? You can reply to this message.
A couple seconds go by, and you get a response in it with a female voice.
Emrine, is that you? Why are they doing this? It hurts. Oh God, it hurts. Oh God!
And then you just hear a blood-curdling scream, and it cuts off.
Well, good news and bad news. I got a reply. but I don't think she's well and I don't think she's safe. She seemed disoriented and she said, Emrine, is that you? And then she said, why are they doing this? And this hurts. And then screaming.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all.
No. I would suspect that if they have her in Castle, is it Sterker? Is that how you say it?
I call it Castle Skeletor.
It's Sturker. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe they've got her there.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably here in Northow. What if you on the north side?
Right. Do we have... Now, I don't know much about magic. Is there a way that we can locate her before we just go walking into the castle in hopes of finding her?
Well, I mean, you gave Wilder that YouTube.
Yes. Perhaps we could meet up with Wilder and use that.
I also can cast Locate Creature. So I could use it, but I have to be within 1,000 feet for it to be effective.
I could bring you close to the castle, but that seems like a very close distance.
Yeah, and right now it's something I can only do one time per day. So
yeah, that seems less helpful. Perhaps we meet with Wilder first and get the YouTube.
Okay.
And use that.
So I need to send a message to Wilder then. Should I just invite him over here, or are we going to meet up with him somewhere? What am I telling Wilder? What?
Here is fine, if you would like to come, I suppose.
Shall I give him the address?
Where is he at in the city?
I don't know where he's at in the city. He said he was staying at the Guild Hall.
Tell him to find the house where I will be in front of it. And then that will be quite easy, as I'm quite recognizable.
He might know the general area since I runned into him on my way back from the market. Have you heard of a place called Lenny's?
Yes.
How close is it to here, or how far is it from here to Lenny's? Because he'd mentioned he'd been there eating.
Well, not far. Would we like to just meet him at Lenny's?
We could do that.
That could be quite easier.
Sure.
And I also feel like I need to walk somewhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What time do we want to meet him at Lenny's?
Right now.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will burn another spell slot, because that's what we're here for.
If not now, then when?
Who needs level 3 spells? Not clerics. All right.
I'm going to go pace outside while you do this.
I'm a walking cell phone. Wilder, meet us at Lenny's as soon as possible. You can reply to this message. I have more words. Until it runs out of words.
Is Wilder conscious again?
Actually, that's how you wake up in the morning, is you wake up to that message playing in your head, but you caught the whole thing and you're just laying in the middle of a grassy area of this park. There's a couple pigeons that are just kind of pecking at you.
Sounds like a plan. I need coffee. I've learned a lot. I'll meet you there shortly.
All right. He says he'll meet us there shortly. He needs coffee and he's learned a lot. I don't know what that means.
Well, we definitely will have coffee.
Emrine, are you okay out there?
Oh, yes. I'm quite fine.
We're headed to Lenny's.
Isn't everyone right now? What?
He responded. We're off.
Oh, good. Okay. Perfect.
Should I go too?
Orbog.
Yeah. Why don't you come with us? Maybe
Yes. I would be safe. I would feel better if you were very close.
You could always change your disguise to maybe just look like...
He takes the hat off and puts it back on again. He becomes Emrine's grandfather.
Maybe not that. Maybe something...
Check it out. I didn't hit her!
Maybe something more like your actual shape so that we're a little less conspicuous in public.
Fine, Killjoy.
And he takes his hat off and puts it back on again. And
Looks like Stumblefoot now.
awkward enough, it looks like a woman version of Orbog.
It's his mom,
Is
isn't
it the
it?
lady from the police station?
He looks like his mom.
No, his mom was human.
That's not a bad idea, or Aileen.
He switches to Roz.
My name is Roz, and I'm...
I don't know who that is. This is great.
Oh, you're that fellow that put. I mean that she put us in prison once. or something like that. There was.
All right, let's go to find Wilder.
I will lead them all to Lenny's. I almost said Wendy's. Get in, kids. We're going to Wendy's.
That's where Dave's at. Wait a minute.
I'm getting a Frosty.
All right, so you guys all meet up at Lenny's. Wilder already has a table. It looks like he lives at this table.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Wilder. May I ask you a question? Also, hello.
Hello. Hi. Yes. Go ahead.
Do you still have the YouTube? May I have it? That would be
Yeah.
lovely.
Let me get it out of my bag.
Okay.
Pull the YouTube out of my bag and hand it to Emrine.
I will use it immediately. I don't remember how to use it.
You look through it and you definitely see her. She is tied down in a dark room, and she's missing some fingers.
What's going around lately?
They look like they've been pulled out of socket.
I'm not sure what's worse.
That's awful.
Yeah. Does anything look familiar in the surroundings?
No. She is unconscious at the moment, by the way.
Oh, did you see her? Did you find her?
Well, yes and no. Yes to the first one, no to the second.
You saw her?
What are you looking for?
Ashlinn.
Her friend.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can't help.
Well, you've helped by giving me this, which is very good. I'm going to hang on to it now. Okay.
She's alive, though?
I go sit down. I go sit down somewhere else.
Wait, if I heard right, you're part of the Thieves Guild, right?
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Then how can you not help? Don't you, have contacts and able to find stuff out?
I mean, yes. I meant more.
So it's like you
Immediately.
won't help.
No. I could. Orbog, I'm not used to being in a guild, all right? So,
Being able
this
to
is
help.
all new, old territory for me. So, don't give me a hard time.
Have you met him?
Yes, which is why I can be so direct. So yes, I could help, but I'm gonna need you guys' help as well.
Okay.
We're here to do it.
By the way, Wilder, Felix, whatever name you want to go by, when you look at Orbog, you see the image that he's projecting, but you also see Orbog.
Right.
You can definitely see through it.
So, what's a good way to address you without letting everybody know who you are? Let's just put it this way. Did Stumblefoot tell you what I was here for?
No.
In certain terms, yes.
Right. So, I'm going to need everyone's help to convince the guild that should be a no-go. And then I think we can help Emrine.
Or,
I'm pretty sure I can convince people to not kill him.
here's an idea. Now hear this out.
Okay.
What if we do it?
Pardon?
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm missing something.
Wait.
No, pretend that he is, and then get in on the, and the people, use him. The thing that I suggest that Gareth never liked. Pretend that we do the thing that we're not supposed to do, and then get in with the people we're not supposed to be with.
Why do you want to be sold into slavery again?
I don't want to. I'm just saying, we have a
It
hat.
seems very difficult to uphold that ruse for a very long time, given that he will still be alive
That's
and
true.
with us.
Quick question for you, Pooh. How'd that work out last time you tried it?
It's never worked very well, if we're going to be honest.
Best not to go with that idea then.
It's about the only idea I have sometimes.
Oh, trust me, I'm not good with the ideas. But,
I'm feeling quite like convincing someone of something aggressively at the moment, if I have to.
I'd prefer that we do this non-aggressively because they could be an asset. Boggy.
Wait, I got it. What if, and hear me out,
listening.
What if we fake like you killed me, but we get your guild in on it so they can confirm that, yes, I am dead.
No, I don't like this idea.
And then they won't be hunting for me anymore.
I can cast the spell Feign Death.
Oh,
And then
it's getting better.
then your guild doesn't have to pay the money back.
I can make Orbog appear as if he's dead.
I would like to say that I'm not comfortable with this.
I just don't think it's a great idea.
Yes, do we need to convince them that he's dead in order to get help from them?
No, but I'm like saying it's the Thieves Guild. Like, they don't care. So, like, as long as they get paid, you know, and then if I get back in power, then I'm an asset to them. So they're like hedging their bets.
Now, here's perhaps a wild question, and perhaps logic does not apply to this situation. It wouldn't be the first time in recent days. Now, you were employed to kill a certain individual, correct?
Correct.
And I don't want to point fingers on assumption as to who placed that bounty, but I have a pretty good idea who it was.
Same.
And I assume that person has now accomplished what he wanted. So is there still reason to have him killed? And is the money still offered? Is it still a thing that's happening?
Yes.
I have a crazier idea.
Yes.
Oh, yes, do tell
I can
us.
actually raise Orbog from the dead.
I don't like that at all.
But if he's dead,
No.
if he's killed by Wilder, then the contract's fulfilled. The contract doesn't say he has to stay dead.
Now, there's a natural order to things.
It works for you.
Yes. I didn't
Wait,
really have a...
hold on, Emrine. You want to explain that one to me?
Which part?
The whole "it worked for you" thing. You're telling
yes.
me you were dead,
Yes.
and now you're not, and you have a problem with this.
Yes. I have a problem with both this and that. And both things, actually. Yes.
So, help me understand maybe a better way to do things, because this is all to help you, to help us, to help him. All right?
I think ultimately we're trying to get the heat off of Orbog so that we can move more freely to get close to Vault. You know,
And get some allies in the process.
Yes.
Aye.
I think that's going to be important.
It'd help to have the Thieves Guild on our side. You know, when you want to get sneaky things done, who better to have than the sneakiest people in town?
I would agree, and over the last day or so, I've gotten to know several of them, and despite their profession, they're pretty great guys.
Well, and I mean, it would put us in their good graces if we could fulfill the contract now, wouldn't it?
That is true.
So, I say we put it for a vote, and Orbog, you don't get a vote.
Fair enough.
I vote kill him.
Oh, thank kill
All
him.
for killing. Who'd have thunk it would come to this? We're actually proposing. This is weird. This is a weird day. This is
Very.
This is a very weird day.
I mean, I'll let you do it if you want, Stumpy.
No, I don't want that at all.
Well, I'll do it then.
The last thing that I need is to owe Orbog a death.
Okay. Well, you've got my vote.
And besides, if we do this, we need to make sure that Stumblefoot can bring him back.
Or we can do the fake death thing.
Here's where it gets tricky. I can only bring him back, if we actually kill him, I can only bring him back within a minute.
Oh, that is tricky.
Yeah, let's do
So-
the other one.
Or I can cast Feign Death on him, and it'll make him look like he's dead for up to an hour.
That one might be better.
Does that work for you, Emrine?
I'm not particularly thrilled about either. And I don't actually know what either of those do, but that one does sound slightly less nauseating.
And
Feign
less
Death
permanent.
makes someone appear like they're dead, but they're actually not
Okay.
at all. They are still alive.
Okay.
It doesn't harm them in any way, and the person has to be willing for me to be able to do this to them.
Right. That one is
So,
more okay.
Boy, that's a bummer. Anyway,
You were really hoping to stick it to Orbog there, weren't you?
Do you know how many times he's wanted to kill me?
I'm going to get a shirt made that says Yolt.
You only live twice?
Exactly.
Emrine, I think I understand that you don't like this idea very much.
No. Not
But-
particularly.
No, is there something better that we should be doing?
No. I don't know. I'm not actually. No, this is fine.
I think that even though it has its risks, and I did partially have a bit of the idea of it, it's doing something. I like doing something. I think.
Yes. I also like doing things.
I think this could get us a step closer to solving some more bigger problems.
Wilder, are you knowing what the guild needs for confirmation of your target's passing?
I would assume Wilder would know.
Yeah, it's a lot like, I don't know how many of you guys have ever played the Assassin's Creed games. It's kind of like how they confirm it. They just need something soaked in the blood of the victim. They have sort of a necromantic person who verifies who the blood came from.
So he just needs to bleed on something.
Yes.
I mean,
Why, that is quite obtainable.
it's got to be soaked in blood. It can't be just a flesh wound.
Head wounds bleed a lot.
Well, that's right up my alley. I would love to just...
We technically,
Never
with
mind.
that,
Sorry.
we could kill him, let him bleed out on something, and then Stumblefoot could bring him back within a minute.
Ooh, I like that. Let's do that. Just kill me. Like Stumblefoot said, you could bring me back.
Well, we're going to have to do it like right outside of the guild hall.
Just get them in on it. I mean, they don't care as long as they get their money.
All right.
That's part of the plan.
Let's do that then. We'll go to the guild hall. We'll talk to
Let's
them.
do it in the guild hall.
Right.
Why? Why in the guild hall? That
Because-
does not seem like the proper plan.
Where else are you going to kill me?
In a safe environment.
Well, that would be safe.
Would
We
it?
need to talk to them first.
Can we really say it's safe if we're killing him?
Yes, that doesn't seem.
Stumblefoot's
It
going
seems
to...
as though the worst place to do it would be in the Thieves Guild, as we need to bring him back within a minute, and then they would watch you kill him and then bring him back to life, which I think probably nullifies
What
the killing.
Emrine, I believe what Wilder is saying is we tell the Thieves Guild that part of the plan, right?
Right.
We're doing them a favor. They're doing us a favor. We're all scratching each other's backs, if you will.
Right. We tell them how this is going to work. We kill Orbog. We bring him back. We verify the blood. And we're done.
They get paid. We get... It's true that Orbog died. No one's looking for him. We've got friends now.
And I've recently learned that I'm pretty well liked. So I think they're going to go for it. We can hope. If
Well,
not,
I like
be
you.
prepared to run.
I'm very good at running.
Orbog's up for dying.
Orbog is not tasked with keeping himself alive.
I mean, technically, neither are you since the Southern Towerfall government fell.
Yes, but you are still alive, so my mission has not changed.
So how about this? If Stumblefoot can't bring Orbog back, you can kill Stumblefoot and we're good to go.
No, I don't like that idea at
I
all.
was just joking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Besides,
we should go though.
Worst case scenario, we could always take him to Tombolt.
That is the worst case. I don't even know who that is.
That's who brought Emrine back.
I
It's
have
an
stated
option.
my opinion.
Trust me, you're gonna go with along with a lot of things that you don't like, and doesn't matter how much you put up a fight, you're gonna end up there anyway. You're with Pooh now.
Indeed.
No, that's not true. Now, wait a second.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. So thanks everybody for listening. I want to thank the patrons who are watching tonight. If you are listening to this as a podcast episode, I want to thank you so much for your continued listening and would ask that you would consider becoming a patron. Every patron helps us out a lot to make this a big, weird, wonderful thing that we're doing. We will catch you next time, and stay fresh, cheese bags. Good night.
You have been listening to the Playing Games with Strangers podcast with the voices of John Haryu, Katherine Czerwinski, Dave Clements, J.S. Earls, Celeste Mora, Josiah Crandall, Eric Campagno, and Steve MacDonald. The theme music was written and performed by Steve Arthur, used with permission. Find more of his music on Facebook or wherever you purchase music digitally. Please review this podcast wherever you download it from to help other podcasters find our podcast and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening.
A special thanks to our Blade Level patrons, Julie Earls, Aaron Peckham, Amanda Clements, Branson Boykin, and Matthew Cosby. To learn more about how you can support the show, go over to patreon.com/playinggameswithstrangers.